right here. I think it's not the bed is on the nice thing under the background. I wow, okay, spoke out here. Talking about that, that book was talking about these all say they don't tell people I'm ready to go in there. All right. We on, man. Let's get it popping. Well, I started kind of Monday speaking about the situation with the black coach hiring. I kind of did like half episode of what I was talking about dealing with the Mardi Gras situation. Then I did half of the situation talking about the black coach hiring. I didn't get to finish because I had a lot of things I wanted to get into and break down, which we're gonna do tonight. Like I say, we're gonna be here for a while. So a lot of y'all just getting off. We'll get y'all a plate of food and come on in, man. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the black coach thing. And this is a self-help channel, a pro-truth channel, a pro-Christ channel, which is just another hand of truth. This is not a victim channel. So if you got a PhD in victimology, you might not want to waste your time. If you got a gold medal in the Victim Olympics and you just want to be a perpetual victim and what they should do and how other people should control their businesses, this probably not you probably not gonna like what I'm saying, but I mean I sure would like for you to come listen. Maybe I can sway you to my point of view, from my perspective. Um, for those of you out there who run a business, and even if you don't run a business, if you have a job, whatever your position is at that job, I don't care. If you got a position in corporate America at a Fortune 500 company, or you flip burgers at the local Burger King. If you flip burgers at the local Burger King, your job is the fry cook. That's your area. You don't want nobody telling you now. People that own McDonald's, they got the right to tell you or reassign you or tell you, okay, look, this is how we want it done. But ultimately, as you get into this job and you've been doing this job, this is gonna be your to the point where you're good at it, and the people, your leaders at that particular Burger King, see that you're good at this better than anything else, and they assign you permanently to the fry cook, and give you the reins of being a fry cook in that whole area and setup and everything. That's your business. That's your place of operation, and you don't want nobody come. Even at this point now, that they trusted you. Okay, you trusted me to do this, so don't come. Which they probably won't. But if somebody new or anybody tell you, well, this how you should do it. This how it, when your system has been working for you, you don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to be told. And I just brought it down to that level. But just ultimately, for sure, when you run your own business, man, it's hard to run a business. It's hard to run a corporation. It's hard to run anything. Um, and there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that people put in um, to accumulate funds to own NFL team, NBA team, corporations, businesses. And when they did all of that and put the work, even if you say, well, they parent handed it down to them still, it's going to be a level of work that they have to do um, to take ownership of this position and make it still be operating in a good fashion. And if not, it's gonna go under. But if it's a successful business over years, over different lineages of family members, over different generations, that means the system that they have in place is working for them. And so when you did that, and even if you're running your business bad, it's only affecting you. But however, whatever, if you hire people as advisors or whatever to come, help you out, that's one thing. But you don't want nobody telling you. I'm still shaking back from a little. I don't like to say I was sick, but a little. But anyway, you don't want nobody telling you how you should run your business, what you should do, who you should hire, and how you ask them. That's another story. But if you don't ask them, and they have a position that's open at your company, um, that needs filling, and you feel, even if you work with the company and you feel, hey, I think this person should have got an opportunity, they give it to somebody else. Hey, keep your head down and work, or keep it moving on. Build your own company. Build your own company, especially if you got the influence and the capital to do so. Just build your own. And so that brings us to some of the things we gonna speak about today. But before we get into that, um, I ran into, because being that this was on the Jason Whitlock's channel, I said I'm gonna go ahead on and squeeze that in the Black Coach Iron. So I want to start it off because I'm gonna be brief. Um, with Draymond Green. If you're familiar with Draymond Green, I mean, first of all, I gotta salute my hat to him. And the reason why I gotta salute my hat to him, not because he's a great player, not because he's great at anything, um, but he, I don't know what the ins and outs is, but he has been able to get, I think, two different $100 million contracts, stay with this dynasty that he's a part of. That in my position he added no value to. Whether he was there or not, they was gonna win the same amount of titles. Um, he wasn't an offensive threat. All he was a dirt bag. That's what he is. That's what he was. And at this point, that's what he's gonna always be because he's on his way out. And I just don't understand why. Not only they got constantly giving him these big contracts, they put up with all of the stuff that he's done over the years, whether it be in practice, punching his own teammates, or in the game, kicking and stumping on players. I don't know. Maybe he's good friend with Steph, and we understand Steph is the bread and butter over there. He's a makeshift GM. In other words, if he wants you there, you gonna stay. If he don't, you bye bye. Um, and he must really, really like Draymond Green and or Steve Kerr. I don't know what it is, but he's been a problem since he's been there. He's always affecting the team with his negativity. It was because of him that Kevin Durant left. We know if Kevin Durant stayed with us, they probably could have won 2 or 3 more championships. Um, he's just a sore eye to that team, and he's been there. I just don't get how is he still part of that team and he's still doing the same thing. And now it's another. It just don't make sense. We hear again with him, and so a situation take place the other night. Like I said, I'm gonna let Jason Whitlock really tell it to you. But as you see on the screen, that he got him with some fingernails on, saying "black girl man" because he went act like a black woman, right? Or just like this white referee put his hand in my face. And again, why did White have to come in at number one? Then we're gonna show the video of him lying about this. And I got 2 videos I want to play on that. And I want to speak on it. Because again, I tell y'all all the time, and again, when I make these videos, man, as I said, as we mentioned, these videos are to be solution based, solution oriented. Take what you can get from them, apply them to your life, so we can do better. One person, one. Listen, I'm one person. I'm doing what I can to put back into my community for that, giving them wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and solutions. And the more of them, the more people who see that and apply it to their life, because I will say this here, we are growing. The black movement of black conservative, I really don't like to, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. The black conservative movement is rising, which is a group of black people who are holding other blacks accountable because we haven't been held accountable. This is the issue that we have. We haven't been held accountable. A lot of us are infected with the CRTD, which is a disease that Martin Luther King and the likes of the civil rights movement leaders created. And he was the head of it. And the CRTD, for y'all that maybe this is your first live listening to me, the CRT is the civil rights transmitted disease. And what it does is anytime black people are held accountable or called out, if you're another race, you're a racist, you're if it's a woman, you're racist and you're sexist. And if you're black, you're cooning, you're bootlicking, you're trying to suck up to the white man. And it's just and that's just what it's been so many years, and to the point where it's almost like a child that you have, and everywhere they go is a bad report. When they get home, you tell them it's not the other people, it's not the school, it's not the camp, it's not none of it's not you, it's them. And this child, we know what happens to a child that is like that, and that's what has happened to the black community. And again, this is the civil rights transmitted disease that it's always somebody else's fault, particularly the white man. And so that's always a cop out. Right now, and I made a video about the DK Metcalf situation. DK Metcalf lost his cool for whatever, swung at a fan and got in all kind of trouble. And because of that, he didn't know what else to say. So he lied. He made up that this man called him the N-word. Now you got to understand that what type of game this was. First of all, it was a big time game, so the stand was packed. If this man would have called DK Metcalf the N-word, buku people would have heard that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way as foolish and stupid as white liberals are, and we know black people between a combination of black people and white liberals, if they would have heard that man say that, they probably would have attacked him. And if they wouldn't have attacked him, somebody would have came forth at this point and said, "Yes, we heard that." That's not what that man said. He said something maybe disrespectful. I don't know what it was. He said something that was disrespectful and caught DK Metcalf in the wrong, and it rubbed him the wrong way to the point where he lost his cool to the point where he walked all the way where he's supposed to be to where the fans at, which is a too much space that he should have never even been over there. Listening to a goddamn fan, you are $1 million prize wide receiver in the National Football League. Like, what are you doing? This guy came here to see you. You didn't come here to see him. Ignore him. Like, you that serious? Are you serious? But so he made that up, and this man is suing him for $100 million because again, like I told y'all when I speak about how black people and a lot of people not gonna black people not gonna want to be a lot of people not gonna want to hire black people. The thing is this: if somebody call you racist, somebody call you racist, and it's public information that this person called you racist, whether it's true or false, it's just bad press. It can lead to a lot of different things. If you're a business, it can lead to people not going to your business. If you're a person like this guy, which I don't know if he owned a business, but he probably got death threats and all kind of stuff because you lied on him. You didn't have to do all you do was say, "Look, man, I lost my cool. Deal with the 2 game suspension, pay the fine, we're gonna move forward." But you lied to try to clear your name, and it was to no avail. And now it's about to double hurt you because that man sued for $100 million. And because you lied on him with no witnesses to say that he did call you the N-word, which we know he didn't, because aforementioned somebody would have came forward and said they heard that, you about to be in trouble. Now you may not lose $100 million, but you are about to be sued and gonna have to settle with this man. So you lost 2 games plus the checks of them 2 games. Luckily, Pittsburgh said they wasn't going to void your contract. You know what I'm saying, with them 45 million and guaranteed the 45 million and guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying. But then you would have lost that. But now you about to lose some M, bro, because you lost your cool and you overly emotional, right? Like too many of our black men are. And DK, although he was raised in a 2-parent household, his daddy was in the NFL, so you know what that means. He was majority of the time at home with mom. And these little boys, this was happening. I tell people all the time. This is what's happening with these little boys right now today. That's why they killing each other. That's why they so impulsive. See a overly emotional, overly impulsive young man is or man, young, old, it don't matter. It's very dangerous. See a woman, she's supposed to be overly emotional and overly impulsive. She a woman. And I tell you all the time, women are grown children. So, and I get into that another time. I know if a woman listens, she's not gonna understand that or want to hear that, but she know herself. But I digress. Um, you know, uh, they raised by their mom, and all of this emotional and impulsivity is being rubbed off onto them. And like I said, a man, especially a young man who don't have all of his mind yet of understanding cause and effect, consequences, long term, and all that there, it could be very dangerous. That's why you see what you see in the black community, so much murder and stuff, because these young men are so overly emotional like girls. They overly impulsive like girls, and they're dangerous. And they got big guns with switches and all kind of other stuff. And next thing you know, somebody's died. But so he was overly emotional, like I say, like most I would blame him, or he made a bad decision. It was gonna cost him more than it already did. Uh, but yeah, so let's get into I want to start off with the Draymond situation, which I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on. It's really about the black coaches. But yeah, let's get into this about Draymond because Draymond, man, I just don't see how he's still in the league. I don't see how he's still I just don't get it. The dude don't have like I didn't heard out of everything I've been watching this man. I ain't gonna say watching, but I've been familiar with Draymond since he come in the league from Michigan State. And even on his podcast, he may have said one or two things that made any sense. Like this dude just is. I think he mildly. I don't know. I think he mildly retarded and was in special ed, but due to his extreme talent, which is not good in the NBA, but of course coming through the ranks. I mean, he didn't make it to the NBA for nothing. I mean, I'm not gonna go scoop on him like that. I can't do that. I mean, it's me against billions. It's me against billionaires who said we can use him. So the dude come up in the ranks from he was from Michigan. I think he's from Saginaw, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. But he ended up going to a prestigious school, Michigan State. Had a good career and ended up making it to the league. So again, it's something that was once there. It's gone now. Uh, but he in the league. He ain't overseas and he got a job. So uh, yeah. But I just don't see how he's able to get away with some of these things. And so this situation happened the other night, and he of course goes to it's about race. It had nothing to do with race. He lied about the whole thing. But again, it's just a bad look for him and it's a bad look for the Warriors. Without further ado, man, let's get it started with this first video. Let me cut it. I'm gonna cut the light off so y'all can see the video and not me. And I'll cut the light on again to get in the commentary. Steve, I don't know if I told you I was going to ask you this, but I think you can. I want to play you the Draymond Green clip where he's a white ref put a hand in his face, and that's a bridge too far. Let's play Draymond Green.
I'm going to tell you, though, I find it very ironic that I got a technical foul for telling a Caucasian referee not to put his hand in my face. As a black man in America, don't put your hand in my face. And I said, hey, don't put your hand in my face, and I got to tell you. So I thought that was the most interesting thing of the night. And you know what's so funny about this? I got to say this before I continue. It's so funny that these are the people. This is the same people, the black man in America nonsense, that cry all day about racism and what happened back then and how we wish we can just move forward. But they don't want to let it go. Because again, it gives them an excuse. And that's why I always say in my video that the black man is weak. He's pathetic in most cases. He has no wisdom. He's the only man in America who still has an excuse, who still can make an excuse. Nobody else, even the people who come here, they don't make an excuse. The black man is the only man who still making an excuse. I just think that's not masculine. It's just sad that some of these black men is able, and some of these black men are fathers and husbands, and I just don't see how they lead their home
And again, they always making excuses about stuff. This is a father. We talking about a father, a husband, I believe. And he's on TV talking about, and I'm saying he's not really making an excuse, but he's going somewhere where he should have never went. He should have never went there. If it was the other way around, they'd be marching and wearing jerseys inside out and whining. Let a white player say, hey, or the referee, all white players say, hey, I don't like how Draymond stumped in my stomach like he did I mean not like he did Sabonis. I don't like how that black player stumped in my stomach. I don't like how I got stumped in the stomach by that black player. And out of all people, he black, which is they all about violence. Or Rudy Gobert, even though he may be of black descent, but he not from here, from France. He said, when I got kicked in my nuts and choked by Draymond Green, I really didn't like that being that he's black and they represent violence. The whole league would have been wearing their shirts out, talking about we were like, y'all gotta stop. Y'all can't be out here as black people putting forth some energy that y'all don't want to return. You could have said, okay, as a grown man, I don't want another grown man putting his hand in my face. That was fine saying that. What you lied, and we about to show that you lied. But for you to take it there, like, come on, bro. It just people are tired of that, bro. People are tired of that. And this is why I keep telling y'all, bro. It's getting to that time. It's really already here, but it's slowly but surely moving closer and closer to that time where black people are going to be extremely persona non grata. Make sure your children get a degree. If you got a business and you're in a company, stay hold on to it because it's going to be hard out here. And again, the problem with that is y'all don't build nothing, right? Black people don't build anything. They operate from two trees. I tell people all the time, the black man, the black people, period, they operate off two trees. Everybody else got their own two trees. Every other group of people, race of people, they operate off two trees. And these two trees have several branches. The two trees that they operate off of is education and capitalism, not black people. The two trees that black people operate off of is I call it Instagram effect, aka BKA stunting, and there's several branches on that tree. They all about when they get some money. The first thing coming to their mind is this is when they the first thing coming whenever they making money or they getting money or however it is, this tree is on their mind, right? And that's stunt and that's being seen and being heard, whether it's go and get multiple degrees so you can go around black people who don't have those many degrees. Because I mean, you can only get a certain amount of degrees. You can only use one of those degrees. You only can make a certain amount of money. And if you do, you're not gonna be no hell of a difference if you got another degree. You're not gonna be getting no $20, $30 raise. You know what I'm saying? Unless you go get a law degree. But a lot of y'all compound these bull BS degrees, these associate bachelor degrees to go around other people and be condescending, go around other people and think you're smart, which most of the time people with formal education are doorknobs, as I always say. And if you know a doorknob is useless, but for one thing, to unlock the door and to open and close the door. And these people, reason why I call them doorknobs, because that's all they're good for, whatever they went to college. But outside of that, they have zero common sense, zero critical thinking, and their IQ is the equal of a fence post. It's equal to a fence post. They got the IQ of a fence post outside of what they went to school for, right? Another branch on the tree of stunting, aka the tree of Instagram effect, the Instagram effect tree, buying expensive designer items, buying Mercedes Benz, traveling all over the world. Um, what's the next thing? Uh, but it's always something that they doing instead of saying, let me save this money, let me invest this money for future references. They don't do that. Soon they get some money, they doing one of those five things. And these five things, not saying that they're not doing this for the betterment of themselves, not saying they're not doing this because they like nice things, not saying that they're doing it because they like to travel, is ultimately to be around other black people and stick their chests out. And the reason why they do that, they know they can't go around other people and do that because they're gonna be embarrassed. They go around these other people and races of people that they tell you that they hate you, they racist. They go around all these other people where it be white, Jewish, and all these other people, and they be very respectful, to say the least. And the other tree they have is the social justice tree. The social justice tree has several branches as well. The social justice tree is woe to me because I'm black. This is happening to me because I'm a black woman. This is happening to me because I'm a black man. This is I'm a black. Is everything got to do with you being a perpetual victim? Let's protest. Oh, we gonna be mad because they didn't hire no coaches, so we sent out the social justice tree of woe to me because I'm black. And black people are the only two people who have these two trees. Everybody else have two trees as well. Capitalism, education. Some of them people like nice things, whether it be maybe traveling, whether it be maybe design items, whether it be foreign cars. I was talking to my white partner one day, was a few of them, we was having dinner, and I asked him, I was like, why white people don't travel as much as black people? And you know what he said? He said, we do. We just don't post everything. Black people again, everything with them is about being seen and heard and getting stripes. So they post. They'll have a whole page just straight travel or to travel in black and just dumb shit. And then black people, what they'll do is they'll follow. They'll follow right along. I was looking at somebody's story the other day. This woman is a phlebotomist. She all on the page on her story posting blood, somebody else's blood, or taking somebody. Like everything they doing there. It's all they know. You can't even be in THC. They bumping all into you. If they take a step outside their house, they pulling out their phone. They all about being seen and heard, and they play this game. Well, I post for my family. No, you don't. If you post for your family, you can send it to them. Then some of them be like, "Oh, I post for my memory." No, you don't, because you can say it in your phone. You're posting that to flex on other people who may not be able to travel, who may not have a Mercedes Benz. And I always tell black people, I always tell people, oh, and black people love to cry and say, oh, everyday judgmental because we black. Black people are the listen. If they wear designer and you don't, they gonna judge you and they gonna look down on you. If they got two Mercedes and you got six Toyotas, they gonna look down at you. You can have a trade doing way better than them financially and investing your money, and they can have a degree from a rinky-dink college. They're gonna look down on anything that they have, and that's what they do these things for. They can try to lie, they can say it's a lie, but this is why they do these things. I know because I know one thing about me. I don't know my father, but I know black people, and I tell them all the time, you can do all of these things, nothing wrong with it, but can you do these things and put something to the side to create, at least for the people behind? But I'm big on this thing as I got on my channel, a basic formula of community generational wealth, creating things that's gonna always have creating things that's gonna always make a way for you, and not only you and people with your last name, but people who look like you. Everybody else understands this. That's why they operate off the two trees that everyone else operates off, which is capitalism and education. They come over here from other countries far and wide. The husband is a capitalist. The wife is a doctor. She's in corporate America. They climb up the chart, and when they climb up, they other people they might send for their other people, or other people from where they come from that look like them. They come over here, and guess what? They gonna automatically help them out because they've been here. They created this capitalist business, so now they gonna give you an opportunity so you can create a business. Okay, I'm coming over here. I started a jewelry company. I'm popping. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw you an alley. You not my family, but you are my descent. So I'm gonna throw you an alley, let you work in my business with me, learn the business, and I'm gonna pay you, of course, because you're an employee. When you learn it, you can go open your own business and do the same thing I did. And they constantly doing it. This is why all of the jewelers are Arabs, Chinese, or other races of people, because they know. And again, most of these people that come here with capitalism on their plate, they got the black person on their vision board. They gonna set. They know they gonna come make a killing off us with fingernails, hair, fake designer, jewelry, real or fake. Because again, we like to stunt. Remember our tree? We like to stunt. We like to show off. We like to look good. That's what we like. These other people are not like that. They more caught up with making. They more in touch with being. They more focus on creating. They more focus on creating not only corporations and businesses, but a way for the people that come behind them, right? And so you'll see, just use a white person. You'll see a black person and a white person, right? This black person and this white dude, they started working at, you know, I'm from Louisiana, so the big thing out there for people to do out of high school, they don't want to go to college, go to the refinery, go to the chemical plant. So you'll have two 18-year-olds, a white man and a black man, they both 18, and what they'll do, you'll see they'll be working. White boy, he get a married at 21. He settled down. I'm not saying he perfect. He do his own thing. Might have a little habit, drinking habit, may even have a narcotic habit. But for the most part, he got a wife at home. He got his kids. He makes your home straight, take care of the business, and he invested. Not the black person. Again, this is something that we have to teach our black men because a lot of them don't know it. They don't have financial literacy. So they don't know about investing outside of their 401ks. And so they, again, most of them are raised by their mama. So they highly sexual because they was raised by women. So they have all that woman energy in them. And what it does is it either turns them gay or it turns them into extremely promiscuous heterosexual men. This is what another effect of being raised by a woman. And so now all they want to do. I've been there, done that. All they want to do is have sex with multiple women. So now they done had two or three baby mamas, right? And I'm gonna show you another thing about the two 18-year-old plant workers, the white one and the black. The white boy gonna get him a regular truck, nice Dodge, nice Chevy truck. The black dude, he gonna get him a Mercedes. He gonna get him something. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because they mindset is different. The white boy mindset is on shit. I need a truck because I might could still use this truck to make money when I'm not working. The black dude, you know what's on his mind? Pussy. I want pussy. I'm getting pussy. That's number one. And I get to I got beans on these. I see them all the time. They'll post stuff like I'm getting money on these niggas. And I'm like, that's what you get. You out here taking chance with your life to impress niggas. I'm up on you niggas. And that's just their mindset. You heard me? Um, it's that feminine mindset. Because really being flamboyant and always want to just be seen and heard is a childish, feminine position. But when these men are raised by women, this is what they adapt to. And as I always tell you guys, the black woman has become the woman king of the black generation. She has been lifted to the front. She is the leader of the black community by default. We the only community on the earth who our leaders of our community are women. Everybody else has masculine leaders as their leaders of that community. But and so the black man, so now by the time they 30, the white boy, he been investing, he with his family, and now his portfolio is starting to catch wind. Black dude, he never invested. He got three baby mamas, and now he really don't even want to go to work because his half of his check being took for those children, right? And he's still out here making them. He ain't slowing down. So let's go 10 more years. Now he go 40 years old. The white boy and him, because they've been there so long, they both got positions in the company, right? The white boy been investing, just being with his family. And another thing, another aspect of this I gotta add in real quick. You gotta understand that God is gonna automatically be. See, that's what people think. People don't realize. God is more with the white boy, and I'm saying in the situation that I'm talking about, not in all situations, but in this situation, which is the pretty much everyday situation for the average black and the average white. The white boy, he may not be perfect, but he taking care of his family, he going home to his family every day, he investing his money. This dude, he ain't none of his children's life, but on Father's Day, maybe their birthday, and he feel like he don't have to be because they taking money out of his check for these women. He didn't even want these children, right? But he ended up wanting to have unprotected sex, and they came about. So he don't really spend time if he's neglecting his kid, which is a curse of his own. So who you think God more in tune to be with out of those two people? So now at 40 years old, this dude, he going through all kind of stuff. Even though he got a position making a lot of money, he getting all his money took, the little few money that he got, he's able to, live a regular life, which is he really supposed to be living a above average life. Because he been in the plant, he probably make about $70 an hour. This white boy, 40 years old, he didn't came in Monday and said, you know what? I'm putting my 2 week notice and I'm starting me a company. But I got a lot of return on my investment, a lot of ROI, and I'm about to use that money to invest in my real dream, what I really want to do. I worked in the plant for 22 years. You know what the black dude gonna say? He gonna sit with his other dudes and he gonna tell young black men, hey, see, we can't do what he doing. He got white privilege. That's what they gonna do. Instead of saying, you know what, he did it the right way. He got married. He stayed with his family. He might have went cheat. He might have got. He might. I'm not saying he perfect, but he did things the right way when it comes to his children. He did right by his children, and he invested. He wasn't worried about stunt. He wasn't worried about none of that. His main option is to do what he want, when he want, and get paid for it, so he can spend more time with his family and leave something to his family. That's what his mindset on. That's what all of these other races of people mindset on. Not the black man. The black man, all he care about is being seen, heard, and having a quote unquote up on his brother, right? And like I say, so now he's leaving his 2 weeks notice in, and this other 40-year-old black man, he can't even fathom doing that. Because man, listen, I can't do that. I ain't got really that much money to save. I mean, I got me a house and maybe 2 Mercedes, but I ain't really got no money to save. All my money going to these children, and and I'm steady having children. It's just a mess. Not married, just like in the NBA. You see the same thing in the league, the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, same thing. White players, married, doing the right thing at home, investing. Black dude, 50 chain, 50 cars, 20 baby mamas. It's the same thing. And so then they say, well, why is 85, 70 something percent, 80% of players broke when they get out of the league? They really talking about black players. They can't say it, of course, but that's what they really saying. Because now they just spent all their money on having fun, women, all these cars, all these clothes, and shit. No more money coming in now. So the women leave. Some situations, God forbid, the depression come, drug use, and all that. Next thing you know, they Delonte West. Or maybe not that bad, but they not doing the best. I just made a video about that the other day. This is what happens. This is what happens. It's nobody's fault. And so, like I say, man, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. You got players, Le'Veon Bell and Odell Beckham, they telling America that $100 million is not lifelong money. That's not no money you can live on the rest of your life. Are you serious? Listen, man, you shouldn't even say that out loud. You want to sit with your homeboys and say some dumb stuff like that, and they all smoking, laughing. That's cool. But you don't go on no public stage where everybody in the world watching and say out loud that $100 million is not enough to last you a lifetime. I mean, but again, this is the black man in America. Since we speaking on the black man in America. And guess what? So many people watching him laugh. But let's get back into the video. I'm so.
Did he try to explain himself? She said, Draymond, this is your chance to stop talking to me, bro. Don't put your hand on this. Oh, check. Oh, okay. So, everybody want to talk about holding the line of respect. That line needs to be held both ways. So, if the line won't be held both ways, then the line won't be held from my way because we all men, right? So y'all can make decisions, choices. So, but let that be the last time. That
voted with Biden more than any Republican in the U.S. House. Like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow traded hundreds of stocks in Congress. She even violated federal law by failing to report them. You can't trust liberal Julia Letlow.
The leader with the but have you ever seen a magic brain that brings photos to life? This isn't just a cold digital brain.
There's Draymond Green going full blown ghetto black woman. Don't put your hand in my face. Don't you put your hand in my face. That's I'm not a Draymond fan.
I'm starting to think it now. He's lucky that he never had to be refereed by Earl Strom or Daryl Garrison. Why would Italy?
Joe Crawford.
Jabby at any time. That would have been interesting. Here's the thing then. So what he did to Jordan Poole, is that black on black crime?
He put his hand in Jordan Poole's face.
No, he got all up in his face. He got in his face. I mean, wow.
Yeah. I'm just telling this whole. Again, I'm not into it, but when did putting your hand into someone's face? When did that become racialized? Was there a scene in Roots where Massa Reynolds put his hand in Kunta Kinte's face or Fiddler's face? Did I forget that? Or when is there some long tradition of white racists putting their hands in black people's face?
Not that I know of, but again, let's look at the history. Draymond Green is the guy that said the word owner is racist, and now everyone calls him governor. This is what happened when we allowed dumb jocks to act. Look, they're allowed to have their say, but at what point did my comments have to be taken seriously? Everything should have been kind of like snickered out of it. You know, that's the biggest issue with the NBA media, though. They allow Doc Rivers to bloviate, and nobody pushes back at all.
Well, that's a good segue because someone did push back against Steve Kerr. An Outkick reporter went to a press conference and got Steve Kerr basically to apologize for the misinformation he was spreading about ICE. Let's play Steve Kerr.
Andre from Outkick.com. So going back to the situation in Minneapolis and some of the comments that were made there. So I know you had mentioned that, you know, ICE isn't rooting out violent criminals, but is instead taking 5-year-olds. Since we know that ICE has indeed arrested violent criminals, and perhaps some of those statements can be seen as misinformed or possibly divisive, what would you say to that?
You're right. I definitely misspoke, and I knew that ICE was arresting some criminals, and I think I immediately regretted it because I knew that to be the case. But my point is that they're also arresting people and detaining citizens and people who should not be being detained. And the manner in which they're doing it, and as you see, is riling everybody up all over the country. And being in Minneapolis for those 4 days was incredibly emotional and powerful. And it was a very difficult time for all of us. So we, at the end of those 4 days, pretty emotional time. I misspoke, and so I apologize for the misinformation. So I hope everybody else out there who's saying stuff that's not true, please apologize too. All right, let's talk about basketball.
You did highlight that.
No. I addressed everything I wanted to address in Minneapolis, but I am glad you said that because that was false, what I said. And so I want to correct that for the record. So thank you.
He blew it at the end with his little condescending. Let's get back to talking basketball.
I just want to shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
I just want to shut up and dribble. You know?
Yeah. And he blew it at the end, got condescending. He's the one that brought the conversation up, the ICE whole deal, and now he wants to put parameters on how he'll be questioned about it.
Well, your old colleagues are an Outkick. I don't think they'll be getting NBA credentials anymore. And if they're lucky, they won't be getting any WNBA credentials. But anyway, couple things though. Must be for those 4 days in Minneapolis. Was he out there or something? I assume he was in that hotel, motel, Holiday Inn luxury suite. Like, what was he really doing? Was it really jarring? Were you looking down from your 30th level suite, ordering room service? I mean, was it really that emotional, looking out the windows and getting bused to the game, and then getting a police escort back, and then you get a chartered flight? What was really emotional about it? But this is the point that I keep making. And I give the reporter credit, whoever that was, just ask the question. And we know what side of the fence he's on, to be fair, to be very honest about it. But he said, hey, wait a minute, let me just push back a little bit and I'll give you a chance to rebut. They don't want that. And I guess now Bobby Burak is trying to get credentials. Bobby, I like you. You're never getting them. Trust me. Now, the bad news is you won't be able to get your questions off. The good news is you don't have to watch the NBA.
I'm not so sure because I was shocked that this question slipped through the net or, got past the goalie or whatever. But maybe it got through and got by because they wanted to. Maybe the NBA, because Steve Kerr seemed prepared to me with the apology or what. If he were completely caught off guard, I don't think he would have gone to, yeah, I misspoke there. It was misinformation. I think he was prepared. Someone, hey, there's an outkick, it's got a credential. They're probably going to ask you about this. And Steve had a prepared answer.
Wasn't he surprised a couple of years ago when someone asked him, well, why aren't you protesting this but not that? And he's like, oh, well, I remember that. But, Steve Kerr loves to talk about Second Amendment rights, except when it comes to the cities that he makes road trips in. These are the things that are maddening about guys like Steve Kerr.
I love the fact that this question got in, and it will probably make them a tiny bit more reluctant to make these statements because they're opening themselves up for questions like this. And I don't think he wants to have to run around and apologize for all the stupid things he says. The final topic, this is a topic I'm interested in. Kendrick Perkins, and I think you would be too. Kendrick Perkins has basically apologized for criticizing Joel Embiid. And then we'll play that, and then I want to
let's go back to this.
Is it Austin Rick?
When you're cooking up a spread, you can't forget the goat.
The perfect blend of flavor with the right amount of heat. Frank's red hot the goat.
Let's move from the NFL to the NBA. Dre.
Now, this is the second video I wanted to play concerning the Draymond Green situation. After that, we're gonna move forward to the black coaching. I don't know if you're familiar with the show, Speak Easy. Got two former NFL players and two journalists who are avid football fans, sports fans, so they know a little bit of what they're talking about. But on this particular episode, Manuel Acho, he's one of those guys I speak about a lot. He's a broken clock. He's right 2 times a day, but very dangerous because those 2 times being right a day, he may fool you to make him think that he actually works, and you'll leave him on the wall a little too long. And when you really need him to be on time, when you really need him to be on time, aka to have some good advice, he won't have it because he's really not wise. But he'll say some dumb stuff, but I think he was pretty spot on in this one. Shady McCoy, he was a great running back. Well, I ain't gonna say great, but he was a good running back. Won 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career. He wasn't no Barry Sanders or no Emmitt Smith or no Adrian Peterson, but he was a good. You could win with him. He was a good running back. But he's the definition of shut up and dribble. He's the definition of dumb jock. He's the definition of meathead. He has 0 wisdom. Only thing he knows is how to run a football up the middle. X's and O's. He don't know nothing outside of that. Thank God that they have people that you call advisors and people that show you what to do with your money and certain stuff like that. Because if not, he'd be probably broke. Because he's just not a smart person. So he gets on here and he tries to play that. And again, this is the black man thing. I told you the 2 trees. That they all operate off, and that's the social justice tree and the Instagram effect tree, aka stunting. So that's what he's all about. So when he's talking, he's either stunting or he's either woe to me because I'm black. And so what he does in this video is he take Draymond's side and Drake, like, come on, bro. But like I said, I'm gonna let him play and I'll add my commentary throughout the video.
Draymond Green, let me pull this one up. Draymond Green gets a tech during the game, and I want to show you all this because his comments after receiving that tech highly debated. Bro, do we have volume? All right, let it run. Hold on. Move this, Rome. Let me pull up the other clip while y'all take that down. So that happens to Draymond during the game. And then after the game, Draymond Green, he makes a little bit racial. He says that, it's ironic that a Caucasian ref will put his hand in my face. Anyway, I'll let y'all take a listen to it. Rome, we got volume? Take a listen. Let me run it back.
I will tell you, though, I find it very ironic that I got a technical foul for telling a Caucasian referee not to put his hand. As a black man in America, so put your hand in my face. And I said, hey, don't put your hand in my face. So I thought that was the most interesting thing. I said, Draymond, this is your chance to stop talking to me, but don't put your hand in my face. Oh, tech. Oh, okay. So, everybody want to talk about holding us out of respect. That line needs to be held both. So, if the line won't be held both ways, then the line won't be held from my way. But we all make it. We all can make decisions, choices. So,
talking like he Jordan or Durant or somebody. Like, man, you a bum.
Shady, you go first. I got some important information for y'all. There's no better place to win cash while watching sports than Prize Picks. Football season is here and basketball season is here. So there's absolutely no better time to join. It's super easy to use. To create a lineup, all you got to do, select a few player stats, pick more or less. That's literally it. Prize Picks is available in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, my home state, and Georgia. But my favorite thing, Prize Picks is going to give you $50 in lineups when you make your first $5 lineup. What's that mean? Win or lose, you get $50 in lineups for free. Just download the app and use promo code SPEAKEASY today. $5 gets you $50 in lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. I got it. You think, yeah, Dre go too far.
I watched the video. I didn't really see much. It was going so fast. But hey, if he's saying that, yo, he don't gotta be a white guy. Yeah, if you put your hands in my face, hey, we gotta have a line of respect, no matter what color you are.
I can respect that.
So he did.
I can respect that.
Put your hands in my face, we men here. I'm not respect.
But bringing the race thing in, come on, bro.
So I said the lines were crossed. So I mean, Jeremy get a lot of text, so I'm trying to figure out they all look the same to me. That's my Warriors, and I rock with Draymond. So I mean,
can I, as someone who doesn't rock with Draymond,
you rock with Draymond?
Draymond just irritates me and agitates because Draymond is an irritant and an agitator. And then Draymond wants to act like he's not an irritant after being a wild and loose irritant. Draymond, if anybody crossed the line in that interaction, it was you. And the issue I only have with a Draymond is I don't know if no mirrors exist in his luxury house, and shout out to him for the career that he has had, a first ballot top flight Hall of Famer.
First ballot? Oh.
Can somebody hold up a mirror to him and say, hey, big dog, you were actually the agitator. You were the irritant. If anybody crossed the line, you, Draymond, crossed the line. Not the ref. Rome, take it full real quick. I just want y'all to see this one more time. Y'all tell me who crossed the line here.
So far, so good.
Let's go back to the top.
Foul, I guess foul.
I think it happens off camera.
Hold on. Look. Look, it's on camera. Watch.
It's just a foul. It's a foul.
He's telling him
you'll see.
Watch.
Watch.
Come on, man.
Watch when they start walking back towards that.
That was Draymond's reenactment of get your hand out my face. And I told him, get your hand. So the reason 2-5 is not, I don't care. I don't rock or not rock with Draymond on a basketball level, but I just don't like the lack of self-awareness. Like Dre, you want to repaint that picture. If the ref crossed the line, I don't think either of y'all crossed any basketball line. You want to repaint that picture as though the ref somehow did something to you, and then also you want to bring race into it? What did race? We all watch that, and we're all incredibly intelligent people. I'm sitting next to 4 different shades of black in here. Shout out to all of us. Happy Black History Month. And you want to sit here and say that the ref crossed the line, and you want to bring race into it? It completely undermines when we actually have legitimate racial conversations. Black head coaching hires. Legitimate racial conversations, systemic injustice. Legitimate racial conversations, oppression.
See?
And now you want to bring in a Caucasian ref. Said, wait, dog.
See how he just threw some truth in there with lies? Now, he was right he was spot on when he said when you bring race and everything, it takes the hope from it for when it really happens. Then he made up a whole lie when it doesn't have no such thing as oppression. The black culture is not being hired. It's not to do with racism. We're gonna get into that. And what else he said? System. None of that is. All that is lies. All that is lies. Everything that's going on with black people and dealing with systematically and everything they have earned. That's why I tell black people all the time. You sit on these apps and like for the simple fact, for example, and I was this because I was just speaking about this, like you had the Charlie Kirk situation. You got a lot of conservative white people and black people, myself included, who was really affected and hurt and angered by what happened to Charlie Kirk. None of y'all really even knew who this man was. Y'all heard some clips after he was already dead, getting the gist of who he was, and y'all celebrated that. Y'all celebrated that, and y'all do all kind of stuff. Y'all in the store, y'all, because y'all again, I hate to say this in public, but I gotta say it because it's the truth. Most black people are raised to hate white people. That's just how they're raised, by the thing that their parents tell them, by the thing that their grandparents tell them. They're naturally is inbred in them just to hate white people and look at white people as old. But it's so funny that sooner they get some money, that's when they gonna move around. But I digress, right? And so what happens is, they always had this mindset of, oh, the white man against me, the white man against me, the white man against me. And it just, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm going to play this and I'm going to catch it and I'm going to come back. I lost my train of thought right there. Let me get it together.
Hey! Go ahead, Trey. What was worse?
Oh, that's what I was saying.
About this, or Jamar?
That's what I wanted to say about that. That's what I wanted to say. And so when you had that mindset, everything you do, every interaction you have with a white person, you automatically protrude that racism that has been fed to you since you was a child, right? You walking in a store, you bump into an older white guy or a white person, period. Don't say nothing. F that crap or something like that. Now, this person may not do you nothing, it might, but you don't know systematically white people, that's the games they play. They got that right. They not God. God is the only person that forgive you for your sin. White people can forgive, but they people just like everybody else. So some of them, they say, you know what? All right, I got him. You don't know that dude you bumped into is connected to a judge that your homeboy got to go in front Monday. And this weekend at the country club, he gonna tell him about it. He gonna tell him that the other day I was in Sam, and this here young black man just bumped into me, rapping his rap songs and didn't even say excuse me. And now his friend is upset about that. Now they not gonna fight you. They not gonna do you nothing. But guess what? Monday, your cousin that's locked up for what you call him? Guess what? Guess what? He about to get bam. Because that judge gonna take out on him the anger that he had for what you did, his brother or his friend. That's why in corporate America right now, a lot of black women, that's why I tell people, black women, they don't understand, especially the ones who support Jan Crockett, that Jan Crockett set y'all back 40 years. Y'all back in the 70s that don't even know it. Only this time you don't have no affirmative action or DEI. Because Bladman Crockett is a woman with a law degree on every TV channel, loud and just as country and ghetto as you ever want to be. And people are looking at this saying to themselves, this is why. This is why we don't want to represent our company. This is why we don't want to represent our brand. Because they loud, obnoxious, and if anything go wrong that they don't like, it's going to be about race. These people are bad for business. So this is why in corporate America at certain companies, Ebony gets overlooked for Karen, Maria, Ling Ling, and Amina. Yeah, I said Amina. Because the foreigners is coming here, jumping over the black woman now in corporate America, getting a position. Because the black woman is just made look bad. And the crazy thing about it is all black women are like that. But the problem is the ones who are not like that, they don't say nothing. So they automatically get threw up in that crowd. That's why I say us black conservatives forget how people talk about it, forget the name calling, the bootleg, whatever. We have to make our voices heard. We have to be loud and let it be known that we're not all that way. And if they call us bootlicking the white man, oh well, guess what? He the one who running the world. And I don't like to do that because I always say this is not a white man's world. This is this country. I'm just speaking for country. This is not a white man's country. Although he is 60% of the population here, and on side of the Jews, he is the most powerful because he understands capitalism and education. He understands his son might not be good enough to make it to the league. Everybody that plays sports in the black room, they want their son to make it to the NFL. He understands his son may not make it to the NFL. So play football, son, play basketball, son, but make sure you get in Congress so you can pass laws that's going to change the world you live in. We don't understand this in black community. Go be a judge so you can perform nepotism for your people. Black people don't understand this. Go do this, go do that so you can help your own. Nothing is racist about that. That's called survival. That's called strategic. That's why I say America is not a white man's country. America is a strategic man country. The white man looking out for his own, ain't nothing racist about that. Ain't nothing racist about a race of people who look out for their own over another race of people. Ain't nothing racist about that. That's smart and that's strategic. And that is one of the pieces of black generational wealth. I mean, not black generational wealth, community generational wealth, whatever community you're from. Not generational wealth for the people with your last name, but generational wealth for people who look like you. These people understand that. Blacks don't. And so what I'm saying is, when he say systematically, I was saying all of that off the systematically. Systematically, black people are affecting themselves. Every social media platform you go on, black people at the cruise fighting, meaning they can't even go on vacation and enjoy themselves. They're at the airports fighting. Of course, when they're around each other, baby showers. And so people look at this, and I mean, you have to, when you run a business, and I understand a lot of black people understand it, when you run a business, it's not about social justice. It's about the bottom line. It's about ROI. It's about what's good for PR, what's good for business. And looking at you people and what y'all represent, y'all are not good for business. So when you say systematically, you're hurting yourselves. Because it's not about we white and we just, or we Jewish and these people hire other races of people, but they'll hire a foreigner that came here legally or Chinese or Arab because they understand these people on the same type of wavelength and frequency as they are. You Negroes are not. And dealing with y'all could be bad for business. You come to the job 6 or 7 times late. I got paperwork so to cover myself in the litigation situation. I let you go. You sue me, you lose. But now I got the negativity on me of being racist because you're going to throw that in. They fired me because I was racist. Whatchamacallit was late every day and y'all didn't tell him nothing. Whether that's true or false. Again, going into the situation where this video is about, the hiring the black coaches, when you run your own, you do what you want to do. You could be fair, but you don't have to because it's your business. It's your company. It's your corporation. It's your corporation. It's your team. So we speak on, there's no such thing as oppressing at this point. Not saying in the past it wasn't, but at this point, there's no such thing as oppressing the black people. There's no such thing as, like I say, the coach, everything he said has been debunked. He spoke about black coaches. He spoke about oppression. He spoke about systematic. All of that is black people's own fault. Nobody else's. So let's make that very, very clear. Let's continue.
Chase lying about not spitting off. Because those are equally outrageous.
Where he lie at? I'm sorry. Where he lie at? Because the dude had his hand like this though.
Where did who lie at?
You said it was 2 lies. I'm trying to figure what was the lie at?
Man, hand wasn't even close to Draymond. Thank you.
That man didn't put his hand nowhere near Draymond.
Thank
He had his hand up.
And Draymond,
He had his hand up.
and Draymond was the aggressor in that situation in terms of approaching him. He walked away
and then came back to the ref.
Everybody knows Draymond got a history,
That's
bro.
not the problem. The problem is he put his hands in his
A
face.
track
Hold on,
record with
Shane,
this man. He
come
can't
on.
control his anger.
There's a ref. You up and back
That's
to
what
a
we gonna go back to back. Wrong, take it. We going back to back in the speakeasy.
I don't really like.
He said, Draymond, this is your chance to stop talking to me, bro.
That's
Don't
right.
put your hand.
That's right. Put your hand in my face.
And then this was it.
After Draymond's clearly in his face first.
Jerry, it's just for talking to me. You did it right there. Why you talk? Why don't talk with your hands like
But
that?
how you gonna say that he said Draymond hands in his face? Hold on. Don't exit just yet, bro.
Of a spread, you can't forget the GOAT.
The perfect blend of flavor with the right amount of heat. Frank's red hot to go, they can't be beat.
Make every dish the greatest. Frank's Red Hot. Eat the GOAT.
You don't see that shit?
No. He's in rest space.
What's that?
Bro, hold on.
What's that?
Talking about, he was showing how he.
No.
Look at the freeze frame right
Look
there.
at the free frame. Look the free frame.
This is why I originally thought it was off camera.
The
Because I thought this
ref
was.
not even looking at him.
I
I'm not
thought
looking at him. How's his face not even looking at him?
that's why I said it.
No, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm just saying the other one, his hands look raised. Whoa. Let's talk regular.
This is not regular.
Draymond.
Draymond not talking.
This is regular. They do every NBA player does this.
If you want to receive respect, you gotta give respect.
I don't know about that part, but I don't know real quick. Every NBA player does this to the ref. They go to their tell what they're doing.
Sure, but not every NBA player goes to the locker room. Like, if you want to give respect, you gotta get it.
This was my issue. He jogs away,
And
then he comes.
Hold on, Shady, because this one I get upset. I don't know if Shady kidding or not.
I'm serious.
The ref's hand wasn't in Draymond's face
at all.
It was in his chest. That's not his face. It's not near his face.
When you have a conversation,
Shady, look at his hand.
what time
It's in his belly button.
Dog, when you sitting here, right? And we got a remote. We got stop and pause and all that. When you argue with somebody or something going fast, this ain't football. Why you hit this hard? When that stuff is going fast, you can't just stop and say that's too close, that's too high, that's too low. No. From his point of view, we talked about a call, mad about this, and I get close to you, and your hand raised. Whoa, put your hand there. Why couldn't he say that without his hand in his face and all that?
I mean,
This is
the thing. These refs know that Draymond is a temperamental person. First and foremost is this. Man, these referees are terrible, man. These dudes are terrible. You mad at me because you seen this dude grab my arm. And then Draymond escalated? Of course he did. Yep. But this is his personality. Y'all know this. Instead of, you know what would have stopped the whole thing? My bad, Draymond, I missed that. He would have stopped. He would have stopped.
You said my bad, Draymond. I meant you. But
no. Again, this is something I've been saying for years. It's almost get to the point where a black man, a black woman is like the child of America, the special child of America. That they got to treat them nice. And they got to be nice to them. Sorry, Draymond, that I missed that. Are you serious? This is the NBA with grown millionaires. Ain't no showing no weakness with them when you're a referee. That's not what this is about. Why he gonna do that with Draymond of all people who have a track record of disrespect and technical issues with referees and players? Come on, TJ Hausman dropper. His name is TJ Hausman Zada. But if you know football, you know why I call him TJ Hausman Zada. Hausman dropper. He was a receiver, I would say a number 3, number 2 receiver. But he always dropped the ball in key moments. He dropped the ball in a big-time situation with when he was playing for Baltimore, and I believe it was against Pittsburgh. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was against Cincinnati in the playoffs, and we really need. He played for Cincinnati, and he played for Baltimore. And I remember one year, man, he dropped a big pass, man. Pissed me off, man. But, yeah, I call him TJ Hausman Dropper. That's one of his nicknames that a lot of people give him. But his real name is TJ Hausman Zada. He was a decent receiver in the league. Outside of Chad Ochocinco Johnson. Let's continue.
No, but when you say my bad, you basically apologizing. He got grabbed. You didn't call it. Like these refs, y'all not bigger than the game. They not coming to see y'all. They coming to watch the players play. Sure. They pulling up to watch the players play. If you get your arm pulled.
But that's almost as stupid as saying we don't need police. In any situation, it has to be regulated. In a boxing match, just imagine a boxing match with no referee. Us any sport with no referee. So society with no police. It has to be regulated. Because players would be punching each other, hurting each other, kicking, doing all kind of crazy stuff if they wasn't regulated. So what you mean? Yeah, they might come to see us play, or we may come to see the player play, but those referees are just as important. How many times we seen a big game, come down to a final call? Like, come on, man. What you mean? Like you saying it like the referee ain't important. The referee, I wouldn't say it as important as the player, but it ain't far off.
Call the foul. You were wrong. And I don't think the ref is like did anything wrong. He's somewhat calm. All you gotta do is say, my bad, I missed that.
You know what?
That's all you gotta do.
I got it figured out. Let's just have AI referees that never make a mistake, never miss a call, and then the players can never get
No,
mad.
but this is the thing though. It ain't just missing one call. It ain't just making one mistake.
Yeah.
They'll cost you a game. And then at the end of the game, we got to get interviewed about that. Mm-hmm. They go straight on home. They don't get no interviews.
Yeah.
We in the NFL, you grab somebody's face mask, they fine you. You miss a PI call, you get right on home. Ain't no fine.
Yeah.
So if you have to be accountability,
That's
ways.
not a problem.
I like
We're
that.
having two different conversations.
Yes.
I agree with your conversation. My conversation is great. My conversation is great. You escalated the situation.
But Draymond,
you escalated it verbally, and you escalated it by approaching physically.
So what? But so we know how Draymond is, or like the refs know this.
But then
so
don't blame the
why
ref
are
for
you
escalating
why
the
are you
situation.
giving Draymond a technical when you made the mistake?
And you're not the player. You ain't ref.
Bro, y'all having different
Stand in
conversations.
ref's lane.
Y'all are having different
But
conversations.
Draymond never gets that technical if the ref makes the call.
Hold
He doesn't get the technical. So
I don't like that. That's excusing Dre's behavior way too much.
Yes.
That's excusing Dre's behavior way too much.
We learned that years
So let me ask you this, because we are on the heels of a hot conversation about this GM has to do his job and be there and be present and do all of these things, right? But it's not incumbent upon Draymond to do his job and be composed against a referee. You know the consequences for approaching the referee.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
The dude grabbed my arm. You see it clear as day.
That is part of the game. That's part of the game. That's
so,
part of your job to deal with bad calls as a player.
Part of the game is for me to have to ask because y'all know how I am. That's part of the game.
And you know what? The reciprocation.
You already said that's part of the game. You know I act. Yes, we do know Draymond, and guess what? You will be suspended. You will be fined like you've been doing, and eventually they're gonna point you to the door, Draymond. Because now, at this point in your career, you work more trouble. You work more bad than you're good, right? You becoming too much for your britches. Your issues override your work. So you're gonna point you to the door. We gotta, you know how I am. When you serious, TJ, come on, man. But again, the black man, the black woman in America is like the child. You know I gotta act. It's just how I am. I'm always late. Call it CCP, colored people's time. I mean CCT. No, man. Come on, man. You gotta do better. We gotta raise the bar and stop settling for below standards. Like, man, come on, man. But let's continue.
It is for you acting ass. Get this technical and go to the bench.
Yeah.
And it looked crazy in the press conference when you lie about the interaction and embellish about how I put my hand in your face when actually it was down here by your chest.
What about
That's
the foul
crazy.
call that was never called?
Because
that caused everything. Call the foul.
It's not even about defending the referee. Yeah, it's not about defending the referee.
The ref did not put his hand in his face.
Oh,
But
no.
you pissed me off because you missed a foul call. You pissed me off.
Yep.
And you gonna give me a technical when none of this would have ever gotten to this
Why are you
point.
talking to me?
You just called the game the right way.
You know what?
But here's my question. Hold on, let me answer this. Okay. So we all saw ref puts his hand in Draymond's chest.
Vicinity. Put it in his vicinity.
Keep your hands out my face. What's the ref supposed to say?
Okay.
Nah.
Okay. He's gonna say okay.
That's not how it works, T. Because here's what I hate about conversations like this. And even when people be doing stuff, conversations, you can only escalate something now to either fight or text. Because when somebody says, "What you gonna do? Whoop me?" There's only one response to that.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Whoever said, "What you gonna do? Whoop me?" is you the one who threw the first punch. Because the only response to that is fighting you.
Yeah.
So when Draymond says, if the ref's like this, man, get your hand out my face. Okay, sorry, Draymond. That's not a legitimate response.
No, you just ignore it and go. You just ignore it and go. If the ref hadn't gave him a technical, you were wrong.
But why you can't ignore the bad call and go? That's where
why do I have to ignore the call?
Because bad calls happen. That's part of the game.
That's probably the fourth or fifth bad call already of the game. I'm tired of ignoring. I'm tired of being a bigger person. I'm tired of being a bigger person.
Yeah.
Why do I gotta constantly ignore that you a bad ref? Why?
Yeah. Well, so you don't get teed up, so you don't get ejected, so you don't miss time.
And this is why these refs need to do interviews after the game.
That I agree with.
This is why. This is why. I agree with, because all these technicals, not all, the majority of technicals are called because refs make terrible calls. And now you're pissing me off.
Refs are graded on their performance, though.
Yeah,
I seem like the same damn refs we see every year.
I need public scrutiny. Hey, look.
Whoa. The biggest ads of the year are finally here. A huge celebration of creativity on the world.
We're about to go into this.
Okay, so hold on. That was the other day on Draymond, but let's start this black coach thing. And I damn, I didn't know it was gonna be this long. So let's go to damn, I didn't know I had this much. We might have to push this back to Friday live. So I'm gonna play one video and hold on. No, I'm gonna do these two because these, and I'm gonna go to that because I had briefly spoke about this in my last video, and I played those prematurely, those videos about Cam. And so what I want to do is I want to play the videos of Cam first, Cam Newton and what he said, and then I'm gonna play these two videos concerning. I don't know which one I want to play first. I'm gonna play Cam first. That's what I'm gonna play Cam first. Let's go to it. Yeah, I'm gonna play Cam first, and I'm gonna let Jason Whitlock respond, and then I'll continue this black coach thing Friday. We'll finish it out there. Let's see here. I actually had some milk prayers for Friday, but that's all right. We'll do it next month. We'll do it next week. Like I say, we do live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday we do the master class called Black People This Is Why. It's gonna be episode 17. If you don't understand why I named it that, go on my channel. There's 16 other episodes, so you can go check out and understand why I named it that. But we'll crank that up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're gonna have a master class of that. I didn't do it last week because we was doing live stream that ended up running all the way into the weekend. Then this week came. Okay, so where is this at? Okay, here it is. Yeah, and we didn't get to it, which is cool.
Yeah, when you start to look at the teams, like Vrabel played in the league.
Let me, speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's.
Yeah, when you.
So let's play this Cam Newton video, and then we're gonna do. As we play these two Cam Newton videos, we're gonna go to these two more exhibits I want to react to, and this goes into the black coaching thing, but not all the way. But it's just giving a basis on the hiring and how the system works and how when people create a system, they operate in that system how they want to operate. And you can't say that they right or wrong for doing that. What you have to do is create your own. That's why we have to stop doing this whole equality thing in our community and start focusing on rulership. But let's get into this first video of Cam Newton.
Yeah, when you start to look at the teams, like Draymond played in the league. Damn good team. You know what I'm saying? Nico Ryan also played in the league. So, it's not the same. Because I would say this is where I'm like, if he did it or does not have any executive kind of internship or phase to belonging as head of operations. Then when you start to look at the teams, Mike Vrabel played in the league. Damn good coach. You know a thing or two about that. D'Amico Ryans also played in the league. Damn good coach. So it's not to say that we ain't capable or competent. Because some would say, and this is where I'm like, hey now, why are you expecting something from me that you don't expect from somebody else?
Remember that part.
I'm not saying that he didn't or does not have any executive kind of internship or phase to belonging as head of operations or as a president for the Atlanta Falcons in that time. But all I'm saying is, did we really vet
everybody that we could? And that's not just for them. That's for every organization they can hire.
I think Matt Ryan's hire now gives more opportunity to former players.
Correct.
I'm good with that.
That helps, yeah.
It helps immensely. But all I'm saying is, when you got quality guys that have also played the game, are they getting the same opportunity? Just the consideration ain't enough at this particular point.
Yeah, nah.
Like we want a real chance. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not calling and saying y'all got to do better. I'm not in the position to check any person that has hired the individuals that I stated, because John Lynch is doing a damn good job.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? With hiring not only the head coach but all the personnel pieces.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
They're doing a great job.
You said Dan Morgan's done. Yeah,
Dan Morgan has done a great job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I had the opportunity to see him on my second go around with Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, yes, individuals are really working towards being president, general manager. But the buck stops at certain places.
Yeah.
Where now you start putting the microscope and saying, why aren't African Americans or minority coaches having the opportunity to coach thinking positions? You didn't say that, Ken, did you? I definitely did. What's the thinking position? A middle linebacker. Linebacker position. Quarterback position. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
And shout out to Atlanta just had that, a minority, yeah.
But they just fired. Las Vegas just fired their coach. Miami Dolphins just fired their coach. Huh? You know what I mean? Mike Tomlin. Hey, bro, we don't want to go there. Kevin Stefanski just got fired, didn't he? Yeah. So don't sit up here and say this is a black and white thing when I'm sitting up here saying this is an equal opportunity thing. They ain't the only coaches that can coach.
Correct.
They
tell
the
best man win, regardless of whatever position
I'm just being an advocate of a person that I'm seeing, or I'm saying what I'm seeing.
Now, as a player, if you look up to the front office and see a diverse group, what does that add to? Like, how much value is
It's
that?
not even diversity more so than talking to a person that can cope with their issues. Certain things that the team does. Going to talk to a Dan Morgan will be easier than talking to a person that's just been around.
Because Dan Morgan knows what
He knows, bro. He knows like certain breaks in the game, you're just not going to get it. Man, you want to have that break. As a former player, you are privy to certain things and makes you an expert that people will never understand. You can easily be around the team during the season or during the off season, but you don't know what it's like to prepare as a player. Yeah. What you got to take your mind, body, and soul through, sacrifices away from your family. Everybody sacrifices something. But I'm just the advocate for more former players being in these executive positions. Primarily, more former minorities.
Sure.
Dang, oh my gosh.
I know we gotta finish that, but let's wrap the show and then we can go to the press.
Cool. That's all I got to say, Peggy.
There you go, bud. We want to see change. Keep happening. It's already happening. We want to see it keep happening in the NFL. Woo! That was a show.
Is that it, Peggy?
That's it,
I
bud.
think about it, Peggy.
That's it, bud.
One more time, Peggy. Is that it, Peggy?
That's
We're
it,
gonna add a finger then. Gonna add a finger.
Okay.
Why you can't add a finger? Why you can't keep the thumb? Hey, the thumb.
I love Cam, man. I ain't with him on this though. I love Cam.
All
I ain't
together.
with him on this.
You think?
And that's all right.
Yeah, when you start to look at the teams, like
Let me, speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's always hard when you retire as a player and it's over. There's a finality to it, and you have to move on. And there's this empty void in your life, of filling that space of teammates, the locker room. That's difficult. I think that's difficult to deal with. And when I left, I was so lucky to be given the opportunity by David Burson and by CBS to become a part of this team. And my first year was, with the crew on the road, and we were calling games. And when you're out on the road calling games, you become a team and a group and sort of a traveling circus. And I'm thankful to that crew. And then the last 2 years, you guys have become my team, and it's helped me a lot because it's not easy. And I think former players, we can all, the coaches and people in that space, we can all relate to that. But you guys have made it better for me and realize that, there's life after and you keep going. And now, again, to be able to get back into that environment in the organization, that I spent so much time with, it was one of one. And I'm excited about that. But I love you guys.
Love you
I
too,
appreciate it. I love everybody who's back here, everybody who's a part of it behind that no one can see. This is the best group that you could be a part of. I think we do it better than anybody else on air.
That's a
and
fact.
I am so appreciative of my first buddy.
About your three boys so much was
stop it right there, Peggy. Stop it right there. Because I'm happy for them. I really am. But I won't be me if I don't keep it in the front. I'm all for former players stepping into executive leadership with different franchises. Make no mistake about that. But let me be abundantly clear. There's a vast difference in who's getting these jobs.
You go to victim.
Exactly. Well, you mentioned CBS executive.
Here we go with the.
And it's a lot of respect in that. And for what they've given me, the platform that showcases the difference in opinion, and they've given me a voice, and I'm forever grateful for it. But when you're talking about what my point is as far as giving or being an advocate to minority former players having a seat at the table as well too in the executive leadership position, that's football operations, that's general manager, that's anything. President, whatever. Listen, hey, we experts too. And this is no shot at Matt Ryan. This is no shot at John Lynch. This is no shot at Dan Morgan. The list goes on. This is no shot at Mark Murphy, former president and CEO of the Green Bay Packers. Tony Basile, executive president of football operations for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rand Cawthorn, general manager for the Tennessee Titans. I'm not going to sit up here and denounce what Dan Morgan has brought to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah. But they all are Caucasian. When are we, as minority individuals, going to have a seat or an opportunity?
You're the majority of the NFL. Playing.
Let me, speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's always hard when you retire as a player.
I wanted to get them two out of the way so I could, now we're gonna go with Jason Will I had to say about that. And of course, when will y'all get it? Y'all gonna get it when, of course, y'all start y'all own. It's not about y'all staging no protests or coming on social media whining about it, because I feel like all that's doing is virtue signaling. Making it like, oh, we saying something about it. Don't stop talking about it. And this comes back. This is one of my issues when I speak about the CRST, the CRTV, the civil rights transmitted disease, where you always trying to fuss and whine for somebody else to give you a seat at their table, a table that they built from scratch. I don't care if their parents passed it down to them. I don't care if they hit a lot of, I don't care how they got this situation, this table. It's their table. It's their table. It's just so funny to me, man, how people do it. It's just like with the liberals. And they talking about, oh, Billie Eilish at the Grammys, oh, it's stolen land and this, that, and the third, and we shouldn't be doing this to the immigrants. I don't want to get upset because I got a lot to say about that. I'm gonna say in another live. But bruh, if that's how you feel, allow them into your home. Let them go to your home. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, listen, they tried this. They was getting all these migrant bus to these areas, Martha's Vineyard, and all of these places where these liberal white people and black Democrats stay, and they people it was state of emergency. They wanted these people out here so fast. So they'll talk that nice stuff from their $14 million mansions like Billie Eilish and, oh, it's stolen land. Oh, if it's stolen land, give it back. Do your part. You can't do for everybody, but do your part. Who you giving to? Nothing. You virtual signaling. And I just hate virtual signaling because it's misleading, it's disingenuous. Like I said, I love Cam. Cam was a 99 overall player in college, 99 overall player, and that FLT got hurt. I love Cam. I love everything Cam stands for, not some of the things in his personal life, but I can't judge him because I don't know the situation with making these children out of way. I don't know. But I love Cam. But come on, Cam. You can't make nobody give you a seat at their table. And like I say, we're going to get deep into this Friday, and some of these dudes talking about protesting and the black players to stand up. That's not how this works. And Cam was whining about on his show with Jamel Hill about how, and I'm about to get into that. I think I got that one on here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I do. So I got to play that one first. Right? You can't keep telling people what they should do with their business. And you, excuse me, and definitely don't listen to nobody like Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill goes and bucks him up, forces him in the corner to say something, because he had to say something, because he'd have been like, I would have said and said, look, check this out. This is show. I mean, you got your own platform. You go on all kind of other liberal platforms like CNN. You do that over here, but over here we keep it real. We pro God, we pro truth, and we about encouraging. We are not about discouraging people because of their race. So we're not gonna put no information out there talking about, oh, how come Matt Ryan and Tony Romo and the likes of those gentlemen, Tom Brady, get these big contract television deals, and I won't. When we know Stephen A is a black man, he got 100 million. There's plenty black ex-players that making lots of money. I don't know the number, but they making all kind of money. Even you own First Take, one of the biggest, I think, #1 sports morning show in the world. So you should have checked that on there. But of course, you can't check that. Why? Because that's a black woman. And if you check that black woman, then now you got to deal with backlash from everybody on black Twitter, the white liberals. You hate black women. And you was afraid to do that, so you didn't stand on your ground. This is what I speak on how most black men are castrated. They can't state this. A lot of stuff they want to say, they're afraid to say because pushback of the black woman and her culprits. But anyway, that's something we're gonna speak on in this video. But I wanted to kind of get Cam respond. I want to get the video that Cam created on saying, why don't we get the opportunities and why don't we provide the opportunity that they are providing? Well, listen, they built the table. So if they want to allow that, and going back to what I said earlier, I'm all, and listen, it's funny that I got to keep saying it, but I want to make sure this is a point that I'm stressing. These people mindset, and this, when I say these people, I'm talking about white, Jewish, everybody that come here, they mindset is two trees with plenty of branches on them. And I speak on the branches throughout my life, throughout my videos. Capitalism, education. And eventually, the education is going to branch off into the capitalism, because capitalism is, but education too. If you rise up in the ranks in education, you get your own situation, or you got a higher position, you can hire who you want to hire. And hiring people who look like you is not racist, no matter what race you are. It's self-preservation. It's community preservation. So when if a white person, if I go to a job interview tomorrow, and the job interview that I go to is owned by a white person, and the white dude get the job for me, I'm not gonna be upset about that. I'm gonna shake both of their hands, tell them God bless them. I'm not gonna have no malice in my heart. Because you know why? I may do the same thing. I may not, but what I know I would, because I'm giving them the best person. I'm all about the best person. I don't care who you is, what color you is, what nothing you got going on. I'm hiring the best person for the job opening that I need. But if somebody not like that and they want to use nepotism, who can be mad at them? You can do what you want with yours. If I like my hamburger to open it and spit on it because I like the way my spit tastes on a cheeseburger, I do what I want with my burger that I paid for. You can't tell me what to do with it. Right? And so I hate when you use your platform as a black man, especially dealing with this, when you had this interview with Jamel, use your platform to tell black men, every black man that's successful in anything that they're doing, they need to be using their platform to speak about the good thing. Speaking all of the negativity, especially that you didn't experience. But when you provide like Cam Newton, you don't deal with racism. You didn't deal with racism in Alabama that you was coming up in that maybe at once was a racist town. You were a star out there. You brought the people a championship. You royalty out there. And you from Atlanta, which is a majority of black cities, so you really don't even know about racism. You've been one of the best in your position for what, 20 years? Like, let's stop. Now, I'm not saying nobody, you know what I'm saying, but like, we got to stop it, bro. We got to understand that it's not racist, because guess what? Guess who owns these TV companies? White people or Jewish people. Start working hard so you can get you a TV company. You can hire Cam Newton. You can hire Michael Vick. You can hire, because Michael Vick, look at Michael Vick. Michael Vick got all kind of opportunity. And he a convicted felon. Love Michael Vick. Michael Vick's one of my favorite people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you something. So don't try to play this game like these people playing the white person game. They just got good opportunities. Tom Brady may have a good agent. Tony Romo, he who really broke in with those big $30-something million contracts for, quarterbacks, and especially somebody like him who was a great quarterback but didn't win anything. Right? These people are working for, and so the people that look like them, and again, it might not even be that. It might just be the simple fact that, hey, they got a good agent. But don't try to play this game, oh, you can't do this because you black. And when that woman, Jamel Hill, with her mildly, because I think she's mildly retarded, who even posed that question, you should have corrected her right then and there. But of course, I know you could, Cam, because you castrated. And you're dating a liberal black woman. But I digress. Let's go ahead on and get to this video. Hold on, let me make stuff. But this is going to be the last. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to do one more. And after that, we're going to shut it down for today. And we'll finish this Friday. Let's see here. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to get better, y'all. I'm going to get better with my material. My equipment. We get a stand, everything. Ring like we're going to be popping. But yeah, let's get into this, man.
I saw something this week where Cam Newton said on his show, Fourth and One or whatever, him and the guy that he calls Peggy, which I don't get, but I'm gonna stay out of that for now.
That nigga, that's childish, bro.
Where Cam Newton said that he's gonna do, he was quoted somewhere saying he's gonna do everything in his power to make sure more black quarterbacks are on TV, and that's the solution for everything. And he did a podcast with Jamel Hill where they were having this discussion, and the whole podcast for, I think it was 2-3 hours. Virtually everything was about race.
That's Jamel Hill.
And I'm sitting
track
there
right.
like,
That's what she all about.
A man that played football at a high level, particularly in college and even in the NFL. He's MVP and had one of the great seasons. And he's running his thoughts through a woman about football and about life. And he can't say what he really thinks because he doesn't want to get crossways with the black woman. And any interaction where you sternly correct a black woman is very dangerous for a black man. You have to have great reverence for women as a black man. And you have to bend over and kiss their rear end and pretend like they know what they're talking about at virtually all times. And Cam did. I give him some credit. He pushed back a little bit, but I'm just like, why are you even having this conversation with her? She's got a victim mentality. And that's what I look out and see across the board at all times, is a victim mentality among black men, and it's because their conversations are being vetted through the eyes, the mind of a black woman. And they're constantly worried about, what do black women think? And black women see themselves as victims. Black women see themselves as, we need special handouts or we can't compete. We need things bent in our direction or we can't compete. And so we have a generation of black athletes that have grown up with this mentality and this matriarchal culture that unless things are slanted their direction, they can't compete. And that's when I look at, like, why is quarterback play going the wrong direction? More black quarterbacks, less productive quarterbacks. It's the mentality. Here's, I think I want to play SOP number 6. This is Jamel and Cam on, being a black quarterback in the media.
I don't know if you've thought about this, but you're in a rare space in the sense, like,
this way he should have shot it down. As soon as he finished, he said, "Oh, we're not doing it here." Change the script. But again, he would have been killed. And as I said way earlier, not Jason Whitlock just said it in a different way, but the same word. It's feminine to be like that. But because the black woman by default has been put at the head of the black community, this is how the black children are. Because this is what mama telling them. Hey, you got to work harder. Hey, you're not going to get the same. Just beating them up as children with victim mentality. And this is what they do. And Cam was raised in a 2-parent household, but by his father being a businessman and a pastor, maybe he wasn't around as much as he should have. But let's continue.
They're not, and I'm thinking off the top of my head right now. So if this is wrong, I think you're the only black quarterback that's on television on a major network. Like I'm, and I don't know if you've thought about that, because one thing that is definitely, like, you see, I mean, listen, you got Brady, Romo, former quarterbacks, Terry Bradshaw, former quarterbacks. Like, that space has been dominated by white quarterbacks. Yeah. You're the only black one that has a quarterback that is on TV.
You came on my show with some nonsense like this. I can't believe it. And he like the little black boy. Yeah, mama. Yeah, mama.
an analysis.
I'll take that.
And
Bet you will.
You heard that, Gilly?
but I think that's important though,
Yeah.
because the experience that you have as a Black quarterback, being in the NFL, being a former MVP is different.
Yeah, but
It's different.
can we keep it funky?
Yeah,
I don't get no Brady deal.
I know.
I don't get no Romo deal.
Exactly.
And that's just facts. Am I bitter? Hell no. Because knowing what I know now, being a member of the media, I know that Brady worked his ass off or has to work his ass off to get prepared for that show that he presents to the world. So does Romo. I see Romo covers sports like a quarterback thinks. And that's why I can appreciate it. It's like, oh, it's too high safety, get prepared for it. Like that's
right.
You're not supposed to say that, but that's
what it
how
is.
simple it is. And as he's commentating, I can appreciate that, and I can see why he makes the type of money that he does make now.
But that's an opportunity,
For sure.
Cam, that they would not extend to you.
That's a fact.
Whether you're a professional technician or simply take pride in maintaining your own cars, Harbor Freight offers quality auto tools to meet your every need at prices that can't be beat. From rapid pump jacks to mechanics tool sets, whatever.
And this is, you just watch. This is the dynamic that plays out in Black homes, in Black single mama households.
Yep.
That instead of telling this dude, put a, the way you dress and present yourself doesn't put you in position to do what Romo, Aikman, and Brady are doing. You present yourself, there's so much extra to you in terms of your presentation. And it's like, I'll get killed because some of what Cam does is hilarious and he has some talent. But it's like, when you show up dressed the way that Cam does, it's actually a distraction from what you're saying. And
It is what it
this
is.
used to be the standard in television, and it still is for white guys. Hey, what you're saying is so important, we don't want you dressed in a way that distracts from what you're saying. Cam dresses in a way that distracts from what he's saying. Anybody with a brain can see that and recognize that and would tell him, hey, man, cut that out. Then the other thing, it's like Jamel talking off the top of her head. Great, Jamel, but hey, Fox gave Michael Vick a broadcasting job for several years. And Michael Vick had a prison record, spent time in prison. And keep in mind, I love, defended, worked with Michael Vick, was a big supporter of him getting a second chance in the NFL after he left prison. I really like Michael Vick. Like that he's moved into coaching, blah, blah, blah. But let's just be real here. Michael Vick's command of the English language isn't on the same level as Troy Aikman, Tom Brady, or Tony Romo. But he was on Fox Sports on one of their pregame shows for several years. And then you start going, well, okay, how come Randall Cunningham or Warren Moon or whomever? But again, the standard used to be, and Tony Romo kind of broke the mold. Mold was like, hey, you got to win a Super Bowl. Then we'll offer you one of these TV jobs. And then, and then it's like you play for the Dallas Cowboys and you can get one of these TV jobs. It's America's team. Romo checked that box. He was the quarterback of America's team for a long stretch. And he's pretty good. And I know there's all these critics now that he's terrible, but he's pretty good at the broadcasting thing. But we're just now getting into an era where there are a lot of Black quarterbacks who have retired or even available to work in television. And one of them, the one that won the MVP and went to the Super Bowl and has a big personality, dresses like a clown. And so, no, he's not going to get the opportunity that Romo and Brady and Aikman get. That's his choice. And this, when you have a community, a culture that's led by women, the tough conversations, the tough things that need to be said aren't going to be said. And even if they are, they're just not going to land the same. My father used to say all kinds of criticisms of me, and it landed a lot different than my mother. It's just a totally different dynamic. And so here's Jamel telling Cam, you're a victim. You're not getting this opportunity or that opportunity because you're black. No, Cam. Your command of the English language is decent, but it's not great. You dress like a clown, and you say things that are nonsensical a lot of times. And so you don't get those jobs. You don't get those shots. That's on you. I just, let me play one more example. And this whole thing was loaded with just excuses and victimhood and the whole nine. You know, I'm not going to go watch for yourself. Jamel Hill did what black feminist victimhood women do, and Cam went right there with it.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I want to give you just one more example of just like how this whole racial discussion and victimhood discussion has undermined black men in particular in virtually every endeavor. And it's like, it's nonstop. Everywhere you go, black men are talking about being victims. Everywhere. It's ineffective. It puts you in a bad light. People don't want to be around, but you might as well run around with women. You might as well make women your best friend and just have girls' nights.
Liberal Letlow voted with Biden more than any Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. Like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow traded hundreds of stocks in Congress. She even violated federal law by failing to report them. You can't trust.
Right. And so we got Aikman. Have you seen? I saw something. Have you? Have you seen the story? Matt Ryan is going to be the president of the Atlanta Falcons, and he wants to maintain his role on CBS Sports as well. We've seen this with Tom Brady having a role with the Raiders, part of the ownership group there, and being Fox Sports lead broadcaster. We've seen Troy Aikman now. He's some sort of consultant for the Miami Dolphins and Stephen Ross in their rebuild of their organization while he maintains his job on ESPN's Monday Night Football. And now Matt Ryan. And so we got Aikman that won 3 Super Bowls and Hall of Famer. And we got Tom Brady's won 7 Super Bowls, clear Hall of Famer, in the conversation for the GOAT, and now he wants this dual role. And now we have a former NFL MVP, played in the Super Bowl, studio host for CBS, wants to run a franchise and maintain his job in the media. For someone like me, with an extensive career in the media, this is mind-blowing. I want to play the clip of Matt Ryan hoping to be the Tom Brady with the Falcons. Play the clip.
Clear. This has been in the works for weeks. Nothing the Falcons did down the stretch, including that 4-game winning streak, made any difference. They had already determined they were moving on from Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, now likely moving forward with Matt Ryan, who is, from my understanding, hoping to retain his duties at CBS as well, also taking on that job as the president of football operations.
Boom. And so here's what's going to happen very shortly. This is a prediction that I don't think we'll have to wait long to see come to fruition. The race card's about to be played here. The Atlanta Falcons, 4 or 5 weeks ago, according to this report, decided that Matt Ryan was going to replace Terry Fontenot, basically, as the general manager, team president. They're going to put a team president over top of the general manager and the head coach. This was decided 4 or 5 weeks ago. Raheem Morris decided they're going to move on. They're going to reshape the entire organization based off a former quarterback who has been on TV now, I think, for 2 years with CBS. And so I'm trust me, Ryan Clark, Shannon Sharp, Cam Newton are in the lab right now preparing their racial takes.
Now, see, I played this prematurely because he was right about every last one of them. And again, I'm going to get into this deeper tomorrow. Friday, on Friday live stream. But I was supposed to play that one first because, of course, Cam, y'all heard him already. Ryan Clark, he, of course, follows suit. And I'm going to play Shannon Sharp and, of course, Chad Johnson, his tag team partner on their show, which I like to watch. It's a great show. Follow suit and did exactly what Jason Whitlock did. It's almost like, listen, you know what they're going to do because this is their playbook. It's just saying, it's so, I'm talking about, it's funny because you could just predict them. You know who going to do what. And it's just sad. But let's continue.
They may have uncorked them already, but I know Cam Newton is going to have one of those funky Fridays where he's sitting there going, well, hold on. I was the MVP of the league. I played in the Super Bowl and lost. How come I'm not the Carolina Panthers team president and a broadcaster on one of the major networks around the NFL? The only explanation can be racism. Let me give you a couple of more explanations of why. If not, and Luke, I'm sorry I didn't tell you this beforehand, but get some images of Cam Newton wearing his top hat and all that other stuff. If you could find images of Ryan Clark yesterday in his Kappa Alpha Psi Santa Claus Christmas sports jacket that he had on there. You could find Nate Burleson, who sits on CBS next to Matt Ryan, wearing clown suits constantly. Find that stuff. I like Michael Irvin. Find images of Michael Irvin and how he behaves on the sidelines at Miami Hurricanes games. You gotta look the part if you want to play the part. And people get upset with me when I try to give Cam Newton, any of these guys, Ryan Clark, any of these guys, when I try to give them good advice, when I try to say, hey, man, present yourself in a professional way. All of this wanting to look like some kind of rapper at a gay pride parade. It's a mistake. If you want the same opportunities, if you want to be seen in a certain light, in a position where someone says, hey, that could be the leader of our organization. Hey, that could be the leader of men. Hey, that could put a professional face on our organization. Carry yourself that way. Present yourself that way. But if 75% of the black guys that get these television opportunities present themselves as distractions and as clown. I was looking at Nate Burleson, I think, this weekend. Every other weekend, Nate Burleson has on some costume that's intended to say, hey, look at me. Nothing he does in his presentation is about, hey,
Hey, we could swag now. Chill with Hey, we could swag, but the thing about it goes back to what I've been saying. If the people that built the table don't want you to swag, they want you. Listen. Let me say it. I gotta say this. Everywhere you go, anything you do in life is rules. You don't have to follow those rules, but just you understand that if you don't follow those rules, you're not gonna be a part of whatever it is that you're trying to be a part of. Same thing everywhere you go to private school, you gotta wear a uniform. And so when you go on these type of shows that the world's watching, if that's how they feel, well, there's nothing wrong. Because Cam dressed horrible, but it's not he not with his junk bulging or nothing that's just revealing or bad or curse words or nothing provocative on his clothing. He just has a horrible taste, and he just has a hey, when you see him, you gotta look. If he in the room alone, and I think when you talk about Nate Burleson, I think Nate Burleson dressed pretty decent. But that's not what they want. They don't want flamboyance on their show. This is their program. Whether it be CBS, Fox, they built it. And so because of that, if they don't want you on there, whether it's fair or unfair, you either have to comply or build your own platform, which Cam has done. I don't see what the problem. Cam, you got 4th and 1, you got Cam Newton, you got Funky Friday. All of these channels has over millions of people. I don't know what you want. You did your own thing. And of course, none of those platforms combined is not big as Fox or CBS, none of them. And you might not get a lump sum, 35 million, but over time you can accumulate that if you keep growing your channel. What's the big deal? Why we gotta, oh man, they get it, I don't get it, it's because I'm black. Like, let it go, that is feminine. But again, going back to the dress code, hey, well, you feel like it's fair. I'm listening to him and the way he's saying it, which is he could be making a point. We don't want you, Cam. We want people on here who are known for what come out their mouth. We want people on here who people look forward to hearing their take on football. Of course, we can get that from you too, Cam. But when you come with the look and the and the bravado, you come with all this. This is why Cam was out of the league before he was even. I think Cam, what I seen what Phillip Rivers did, I think Cam still can play because Cam got a cannon on him. But people didn't want Cam in their locker room because having Cam in your locker room was going to be like having Shador in your locker room. And Shador is worth that because he's a young quarterback that's going to be great. But you an old guy, been hurt. You on the back end of your career, and it's just not worth. Again, this go back when I was speaking about Draymond. Your trouble is worth more than you. Your trouble is outvaluing you at this point. So it's like, nah, we'll pass. You're not gonna tell me he's 30-some quarterback in the NFL is better than Cam Newton today. This man still is aggressively training. He's in shape. He's a specimen. So he still can play. He still can throw the ball. He might still can scramble for a couple yards. But he was not allowed back for the simple fact that not because he a troublemaker, never got in trouble, just a pretty much airtight guy. But the whole locker room gonna be distracted by Cam Newton and his antics. And not really even to say his antics, but his bravado. It's just what it is. It can help you or it can hurt you. And like I said about Shador, it helped him and hurt him. But I think now it's helping him now because he actually got to show people, look, this is what I can do. So now that you show, once he gave people, because people always look at people like him or any quarterback that they draft and say, can we develop this guy? No disrespect to Dylan Gable, but Dylan Gable is not an NFL quarterback. He's too small. You can work things in college because you're still dealing with a lot of children. But in the NFL, Dylan Gabriel is not an NFL quarterback. It is what it is. Everybody needs to come to realization of that. Shador is. Shador is the most accurate quarterback in college football history. His comp is Warren Moon. He's not really a scrambler. He's a real pocket quarterback. And for a black person, that's amazing. I like him. I think he's going to be great. I think within the next 5 years, Shador Sanders going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He got all the tools. All he needed the right person to, excuse me, all he needed the right person to develop him now. He got Todd Monken over there. Todd Monken was a great offensive coordinator. That's who Lamar Jackson won his MVPs under. But we got to understand that Lamar Jackson and Shador Sanders is 2 different type of quarterbacks. So Todd Monken gonna really have to go in his bag to deal with Shador. But again, this man's a head coach. They didn't hire him for nothing. And whoever the offensive coordinators is, and whoever the quarterback coach is, they gonna have to game plan around their franchise quarterback. Which is he not their franchise quarterback yet, but I think he will be, because I think they're gonna move off of Deshaun Watson, free up a whole bunch of cap space, get some more pieces to help Shador. I think they're gonna go all in on Shador, and I think Shador the one. But I know that I digress. I went all the way over there with that, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, rules are rules, and listen, Cam, you bigger than life. It ain't your fault. It comes with being great, my brother. But when you like that, it can help you and hurt you. And when you're at the end of your career like you are, it hurts you. But man, let's continue. And it's hurt, and it can also hurt your career, period. Even in broadcast. But like I said, who cares? You got your own platform on Facebook, Instagram, you pop.
Listen to me. Do you understand the difference in presentation? If you want people to listen to you, don't make them focus so much energy on looking at you. Don't let your presentation of yourself overshadow what you're actually presenting. Because these white guys that get their opportunities, they show up to work dressed in a way that, like, hey man, what I'm about to say is really important. Don't focus on what I look like. I'm about to say something important. I'm about to say something inspiring. I'm about to say something profound. Not, hey, look at me. And so while everyone runs to play the race card, look at Matt Ryan's getting an opportunity that a black guy, they would never give that to a black guy. Troy Aikman got the opportunity. They'd never give that to a black guy. Tom Brady, they'd never give that to a black guy. How are you presenting yourself? Do you, I want the same opportunities, but I don't want to do the same thing. And you shouldn't judge me on how I present myself. Well, of course, everyone gets judged on how they present themselves. I'm used to be just like a very hard-working journalist. I worked really hard. But you know why people were reluctant to give me credit for how hard I worked as a journalist? Because I was fat. I presented myself as a fat person. And there's a stereotype about fat people that they're lazy. That's on me.
I love
That's not on racism.
Thank you.
That's not on fatism. That's on me.
Love Whitlock. Boy, Whitlock becoming real. That's what we need. We need more Whitlocks in our community. Whitlock preaching, man.
You guys got to take accountability and responsibility for how you present yourself. How do you want to be seen? You want to be cool? You want to be a rapper? You want to make sure that Cardi B or whatever celebrities impressed by you? You want to make a spectacle of yourself? You want to diminish your actual faults? Keep presenting yourself as a clown. But while you're presenting yourself as a clown, Don't be complaining and claiming racism because you're not taken seriously and you're not given these opportunities of responsibility as often, as frequently as the white guys. I'm just giving you good advice. And I'm trying. This show is different. This show is important.
Very.
It's the only sports show that I know where giving black men sound advice is actually encouraged and legal. It's the only place that I know. Everywhere else, you're going to hear a buffoon, clownish take because that's what they want for black men. They don't want us to hear good advice. I apologize for those of you that are racist or hate yourself so much that you just heard me give black men good advice and you're offended by it. I apologize to you. Find another channel. Don't come here because I'm committed to actually giving black men sound advice. Thank you.
Shout out Jason Woodlock. Shout out Jason Woodlock. Shout out Jason Woodlock. Thank y'all, man, for coming out, man, enjoying the show tonight. We're going to do part 3, the final conclusion of this trilogy. It wasn't supposed to be a trilogy, but we've been in here, 2 hours? So I thank y'all for coming out, man. I see y'all Friday night, man, and God bless.